Perister and Alona are continuing their delve. That's coming up next on this episode of the Cheapskate Gamer. Yep, it's another lame excuse for a theme song. Hello Internet, welcome to the Cheapskate Gamer. I am your story weaver, Steve Rogers. Yes, this is my real name, and I know I have no question whatsoever I would not fit in Chris Evans's wardrobe. Last time on the Cheapskate Gamer, we started our delve. Our two characters, we have Alona Theodby, there is our gnome expert. We have Perister the merchant, who's our main character. He is a dwarf ranger. They are in a dungeon. They are looking for glowing armor. It was made by halflings. It's worth about 200 gold pieces according to the old system. I still haven't figured out how to translate that between that and the old new one now. Not really particularly important in this particular juncture. I think we'll just go ahead and get right into it. So the last place we left our characters off, they had just entered this new area of the dungeon. They've been exploring for about, let's say about an hour and 20 minutes, hour and 30 minutes or so. It's the fourth card, so an hour and 20 minutes. That's how long they have been exploring so far. And they had been walking down the hallway. It's been quiet. Occasionally they thought they might have heard some things, but no, nothing particularly making any noise right now. As they enter this new area, Perister, I want to say it's Perister, he starts to get this odor wafting into his nose. It's not exactly a pleasant odor. It's kind of a if you've ever walked into a young child's bedroom the first thing in the morning, and you can tell just it instantly hits you when you walk in that the child is thrown up in their bed. It's that kind of smell. It's not particularly strong as he walks in, but he can smell it, and it's kind of permeating this area, this particular end of this hallway. So they come up to this first door into this new room. Last time they opened up a door in this place, they got ambushed by a pair of damn bones. So they're being kind of cautious at this particular point. Alona is sitting there. She sees the door and immediately gets an arrow out and loads her bow up, and she is ready to use it. She doesn't draw it yet, but she at least has it loaded and out, which is more than I can say about the last time that she did this sort of thing. Perister, of course, is Perister's got his hands full. I mean, he's got the torch in one hand, he's got his hammer in the other, and he realizes that in order to be able to open this door, he's going to have to put his hammer down. So he goes ahead and he puts the hammer in his belt. He's still kind of tries to keep it, he can't exactly keep it where he can draw it quickly, because he has to have one hand free to try to open this door. But he does that. He puts his hammer down. He goes ahead and he walks into this new room. And in this particular room that they have come up in front of, they find some barrels. They find some stacked firewood. It's old firewood, but it's definitely there. It's like very earthy, kind of that rotten wood smell. Like it's been here for a very long time. And he like nudges a piece with his boot and it just crumbles to dust, right, just like that. It's a fresh room. They do go ahead and take some time to explore everything. They're looking for treasure, they're looking for traps, they're just making sure everything's kosher. They don't find anything in this particular room, so but they do see another door off towards their left as they come in the door. And so they go ahead and, same drill. They go ahead and they walk in there and are continuing to explore. And as they walk into this next room, the torchlight, it immediately glints off of something in the corner. Little hint of yellow once again. This is the second time they've come across what at first glance appears to be gold the moment they walk into the room. And according to the card, it's 3d10 pieces of gold. Well, let's go ahead and make a roll and see just exactly how much there's there. Whoop! Dropped a die. Dropped a die. Okay, let's see what we got there. That is a 1, a 2, and a 3. Oh. 3d10, and I rolled a 6. 6 pieces of gold, that's not going to translate to any money for them that they can actually spend. So, you know, what can we say about that? So Perister is actually the first one to see it this time. So he goes over to the corner where he sees the gold, reaches down, picks it up, takes a look at it, and goes, huh, it's more Trapezarian money. Very unusual, lass. How so, says Alona. Well, I mean, consider how far exactly we are inside Propriaso. Why would we be seeing any Trapezarian money here? The Trapezar is hundreds of miles away. Alona takes a minute and she thinks about this, and she's like, and I also thought that the Trapezarians, they don't trade with anybody, do they? Why would they have a need for money here? I don't know, lass. It's a bit of a mystery. Quite frankly, it's one I'm willing to leave alone for right now. Maybe something else in this dungeon will be able to explain it. I have no right idea. They continue to explore the room that they're in. It is actually, it looks like a well-apportioned study. The furniture is old, and you know it has that same earthy kind of old, rotten. It's well built though, you know, because Perister can kind of like put his hand on it. There's a wardrobe there. He can put his hand on it, and it doesn't immediately fall apart. But they can tell this stuff is ancient. You know, the bed is rickety. It is a bed. It is a proper bed, like a humanoid-sized character. They continue to search the room. They don't really find anything else other than just a few gold coins that they've come across. So far, it's been 16 gold coins in total. All Trapezarian money. They can't spend it because it's not legal tender in Pupriaso. So my characters, they'll finish exploring this particular area. They won't find anything else, nothing else of value in those cupboards. Well, maybe they'll find something of value there. I don't think it's likely. But let's ask the Oracle. Let's ask our one-page solo engine, and let's see what's gonna if there's anything else of value in this particular room. I don't think it's likely. So I'm going to make a roll to the Oracle. I'm going to say that this is unlikely. We're going to take 1 off the value of the blue die. And we rolled a 3 and a 6. 3 and a 6 is a no and. It's an augmented no. So not only is there nothing else of value in this particular room, we have an and, so no and. There is nothing of value in this particular room, and there is nothing of value in the coming room. Let's go with that one. Okay, that's easy. We'll move on to the next. We'll move on. You know, because it is an and result, maybe they waste too much time searching this room. Let's go ahead and count it as another room. So instead of being 2 rooms down that they have to light a new torch, it's only going to be the next room where they have to light a new torch. All right, so they finish. They really thoroughly search this area because it does look like somebody might have lived here at one time or another, but they don't really find anything else. After a while, Perister is like, no, lass, we've wasted too much time here, but get going or we're going to lose another torch too early. Let's find that armor and get out of this place. So they kind of maneuver around, they walk out, they get back into the hallway where they were. They didn't, you know, they're looking for doors, they're looking for hinges, anything that might suggest there's something else there. Nothing is readily apparent. They get back to that hallway, and Perister starts to smell that smell again. That really kind of sour, vomitous smell. And as they continue walking down that hallway, it's a very narrow hallway, it curves off to the right. They get to that corner, and the smell just hits. And Perister is like, lass, did ya pass gas or something? And she's like, seriously? No. I mean, that's not me. What is that? And I don't know, lass. As a kid, let's hope it doesn't get any worse. They continue down the hallway, and they come up to yet another door. And by the time they get to the end, I mean, it's just horrible. It's like, you know, I can't describe it. I mean, you can see my face. You can see my face. Okay, there you go. Freebie for y'all. We have a baddie in the next area. So, what are you going to have to do like what we did with the damn bones? They are listening at doors. This is one of their default behaviors that we established last time. Let's see if they hear something coming from this next room. By the rules of Cheapskate, 4d6 to determine the DC of the check. Okay, 4423, that is a result of 13, so we needed 13 or better in order to succeed this particular check. Peristeer, we're still doing a communication plus willpower check. Peristeer is at +1. Ilona is at +3. So Peristeer must roll a 12 or better to succeed on the check. Ilona must roll a 10 or better to succeed on the check. Let's see what happens. Ilona is going to be the purple die. Alright, we rolled a... Peristeer rolled a 9, Ilona rolled a 19. Okay, so Peristeer does not succeed the check, but Ilona does. That is sufficient for the group to succeed on the check. So as they're taking their time, they're taking turns listening at the door. Peristeer can't hear anything, but Ilona, when she gets up there, she's listening. She hears this voice. It's the sound. It's quiet, but it's sound, and it's full of malice. And it's like, it says,
fresh meat. It has been so long since I've had anything other than bats in this place. Come forth and join with me.
well, that would disturb the living crap out of me, so Ilona is like, careful. There's something in there to Peristeer. Shut up. Something is in there. You're going to go try and get us. Okay. So, Peristeer, he's not bothering to open the door with his hand. He has his hammer, and he swings the crap out of it and knocks the damn door open. It flies open, and inside is this... He throws the torch in there, and he's looking, and off to the left is this foul creature. I mean, it is like dripping with slime and guts and goo, and it just stinks. Oh god, it stinks so bad I can't even describe it to you people. And let's go ahead and call action. We're in combat. So once again, Ilona has got the highest reflex score of the 3 combatants. She gets to go first in this round. She walks into the door. She has her bow out. She has an arrow in it. It's loaded. She has... Let's figure out exactly how many actions she has for this first round. +1 for the roll. And it would certainly help if I hit the tray. Ah! Okay. 16. 16 plus 1. She's going to have a 17. That's going to be good for her first action of the round. I think she's going to take her first action. She is going to aim at the other guy. This is going to give her a level of advantage on the attack, and then she is going to fire her bow. Ilona firing at 1d8. Here we go. Ah! She got an 8 on the roll. That's a critical hit right off the bat. Ilona scores 1 critical hit with her bow on this Horkulith, this puke demon. Alright, so her ranged attack bonus is +3. She rolled an 8 on the die, +3. And this guy doesn't have any armor, so that die explodes. Let's see what else happens now. When a die explodes, you roll it again, and you keep rolling as long as you get the maximum result. Another 8! Oh my goodness, that is, now we're up to 19 total damage on this particular creature, and it explodes. It goes again. We roll it one more time. Let's see what happens. Another 7. 7 plus 19, 26 damage. This creature only had 9 hit points to begin with. Yeah, okay. So, she fires her bow. It flies true right into the middle of the thing and just explodes. There's like guts and puke and everything, and like, and it just explodes all out of the room. It doesn't do my characters any damage, but they do find themselves covered in effluence pretty fast. And I'm going to say that they both managed to hold their lunch. nothing really else to say about this. That was a lot faster than I was anticipating, frankly. So the Horkolith was a level 2 creature. There was only one of them in this particular room, so he was only going to be worth 2 experience points. My guys, they do lose 1 supply because an opponent did take a shot. That does count as ammunition, and ammunition does eat a supply. So Perister, he's now covered in puke and guts and everything. She just kind of looks at Alona. There's this disgusted look on his face, and he's like, "Can you hand me a towel, lass?" And she's like, "Yes, give me a second. It's a good thing you are listening, lass." Yeah, I think it was. So they continue to look at this room. I mean, they look around. They see that it's kind of the remains of a. It looks like the remains of a dining hall. But whereas the other furniture they encountered in this area was intact, it's obviously that there's been some kind of a struggle here at some point in this area's history, because all the furniture in the room, you look around here, and I'll just clear this out here. You can say, look, all of these like boxes and there's tables, everything in this room has been broken. So some kind of serious struggle here happened once. So there's dried blood all over the floor. The room, some of the floor is cracked. And you know, of course, the source of that smell that Perister was smelling was that puke demon, and so yeah, it's obviously that thing's been here for a while, so it's permeating the air. They continue. They do their usual shtick. They've cleared the room of bad guys. They're looking around. They don't find anything, so that's gonna take care of it. And we will go ahead and move on. The next card out of the deck is the 8 of Spades. Now this is actually something we cannot play. Our hallways are all connected at this point, and by the rules of the deck of mini dungeons, whenever you've got your final hallways all connected, you're supposed to take one of them and toss it out and use it, replace it with a king card so that you finish out that level. Well, me making the dungeon up as I go along, this is the last card that I could possibly toss out. So we're going to toss this card out, and we're going to ask the most important question I could ask right now of the Oracle of One Page Solo Engine, and that is whether or not this is the final room of the dungeon. So we'll go ahead and make our roll. We're going to do this at even odds because I don't know what the outcome's going to be. Blue dice is our main answer. The yellow dice is the augmentation. Let's see what happens. We have a 3 and a 6. So we have a no and. That is an augmented no. Not only is this not the last room of the dungeon, but there's something else about this that is going to happen as a result. I'm trying to think what might be augmented. Let's go to the cards and see what they have to say on the matter, okay? Okay, so let's go ahead and turn up the card here. We have our first card is the Ace of Clubs. This is an action-focused. Ace means deceive. Oh boy. The clubs means it's a physical appearance or existence, and the ace means deceive. Let's go ahead and take a look at the second card. This will be our topic. Deceive what? 8 of Diamonds. Deceive knowledge. Okay, so deceive knowledge. And that is a the diamond is a technical, mental, or operation. Okay, so it's no and deceive knowledge. Deceive physical appearance or existence, knowledge, technical, mental, operation. It is not the final room of the dungeon, but it's going to look like it is. So, maybe there's a fake statue. Maybe there's a fake set of armor in this particular room that's not their actual target, but it's going to maybe there's a trap. Maybe it's a trap that is in this room that's designed to make people think that that's the actual prize, but it's not. And if they are my characters, they go for it, they will get suckered in. Let's ask the Oracle, is that actually the case? I kind of like this idea, so I actually think this is going to be very likely. Okay, we have a 5 and a 6. That is a yes, and it's an augmented yes. So yes, there is a trap there, and something else. A trap and a fight. Let's hope that's not because we just got done with the Horkolith here, but I think that's going to be what happens. Okay, next thing to determine which of my 4 king cards am I going to use for this next room. Yeah, we're going to toss out the 8 of Spades. That one's not going to get played. So I think I'll handle this the way I did back in 2023. I'm going to roll a d4, and we're just going to assign 1, 2, 3, 4 the bridge suits: clubs, diamonds, hearts, spades. Let's see what happens. Well, it would certainly help if I got it into the tray. That is a 1. Okay, so instead of playing the 8 of spades now, we're going to switch it over, and it's going to be the king of clubs. So as they finish up in the room where they fought the Horkalith, Peristeers is he's walking along. He's got his torch. He looks at it. He notices it's starting to flicker and go out. So he gets into his bag. He pulls out his flint and he pulls out a new torch. He goes ahead and he lights the one off of the other, and gets it done, and just kind of discards the old torch, and they move on into the next area. And as they move on into this next area, they walk through a door. They're still wary as heck because they've already fought 2 different things in this dungeon. But Peristeer carefully opens the door, torch in hand. Alona's got a new arrow drawn. She's ready to shoot. Well, she's not ready to shoot, but she does have it knocked and ready to go. And as they walk into this next room, they see a faint light up ahead. And there's nothing blocking the view of what they're seeing. They are looking at a set of armor that is about the size of a halfling, halfling size, and it's glowing. That's the source of the light that's coming from this room. Would they have any indication that this is not the real set of armor that they're looking for? Anything obvious? There's a trap here, so this is not something I should pass over to the Oracle. This needs to be a check. So let's think, what kind of check can I have them make in this one? I think I can have Alona. It's going to be Alona on this one. We're going to try to reward her for fast thinking of something that she might have. Let's say that she's the one who heard about this place, and that's why they're here. And something that she was told about this room, and if she can remember it quickly, then she might be able to stop Peristeer from going forward and investigating and setting off the trap. So I'm going to make this a check specifically for Alona. It is going to be a knowledge plus reflex check for fast thinking. Okay, so let's go ahead and look at her stats real quick. Knowledge, she does not get a bonus for knowledge. Her reflex bonus is +1. She's a level 1 character. This is going to be a +2 to the check. 4d6 to set the DC. Alright, we have a 6, a 2, a 2, and a 3. 6, 2, 2, 3. That's 13 again. And so she's got +2 to the check. She needs to roll an 11 or better in order to succeed on the check. Otherwise, they're going to set off a trap. Oh, God, it's a 2. Oh, no. What is the result of failure on that check? We have a 10 and a 1. All right, by the rules, a 10. Oh, God, it's an asset complication. Okay, by the rules of Cheapskate, asset complications in particular are supposed to be really cruel, so we'll figure out what happens there. 1 means cause harm. No, they're setting this trap off. What is the nature of the trap? Go to OPSC, and we're going to do a generic generator. So for a generic generator, there are 3 components to it. There is an action focus, there is a detail focus, and there is a how much focus. It says how, but it's how much. So we're going to go over to the cards. We're going to do our action focus first. And our card is the 10 of diamonds. It is going to, what it does is take. Okay, well, and we're going to lose an asset, then that makes perfect sense. Next we do a detail focus. Card for the detail focus is the 8 of spades. How does it look? It looks complex. And spades being mystical meaning or capability. So this is how this trap looks. Oh boy. I'm going to have to think about that one for a little bit and see if I can come up with something. In the meantime, we do a how much oracle. This is to determine how significant it is. And how much oracle is always 1d6. We rolled a 4. 4 is about average. Okay, so about average for what you would think for this trap. It takes, and it looks complex. The trap is complex. It's complex, but it's also a mystical meaning or capability. You know what I think it is? I think it's illusory terrain. I think that there's a trap. It's concealing a pit, and if you approach, it looks like it's solid ground, but you just kind of walk in and you fall. I think that's what we'll say for the trap, and it's there's actually an illusion of the statue of the armor, making it look like it's in this room. So yeah, we'll go with that, and that's going to be the nature of our trap. And it's going to be Peristeer that's going to probably lose the asset because he's the one who's going to be fooled. Ilona failed to check, so she doesn't get to tell him in time that there is something here there's a trap here. Tell you what we're going to do. We do need to go ahead and figure out which asset Peristeer is going to lose. For that, I'm going to go ahead and just do I think we're just going to do a D12 roll, and we're going to compare it against his equipment list here real quick, and we'll see what exactly he loses. Okay, so I rolled a 9 on the die. Okay, so let's go ahead and take a look at 9. We're going to go through his assets. The 9 correlates to his weapon. I don't think he's going to be able to get through this without a weapon, so I think instead of actually making it to where he drops his hammer and it kind of goes into a state where it's no longer usable, we'll treat it like a critical miss. Something will happen to his hammer, and it's going to lose the single level of resilience that it has available to it. So it'll be just like Ilona's armor, and that he will have no more resilience on his weapon. Permanent damage, but something they have to fix later. So my pair of adventurers, they walk into this room, and the Peristeer's looking ahead, and he's seeing the glowing armor that is going to be, his key back to financial security, and he's like, "This is it, lass. We found it!" And he imprudently starts to move forward a little bit faster than he should. And Ilona's sitting here back behind him, and he's like, and she suddenly remembers, "No, wait, don't do that!" But it's too late, and he falls into a pit. Ow! How big of an ow? Let's find out. I'm just going to go ahead and say that this was a 20-foot drop, so 2d6 on damage here. Okay, we rolled a 3. We rolled a 3. And Peristeer's armor is 3, so 3 minus 3. He takes 0 hit points worth of damage. It's just he's fallen 20 feet into a hole. But of course, at the bottom of that hole, he takes a second. He dusts himself off. He stands up. He looks at his hammer, and he sees that he's cracked the handle on it, and he's about to say something. He's about to say some foul words whenever he hears something that he has already heard once in this dungeon. "Oh no! It's hideous! But maybe he's a blessing in disguise. Maybe the great lady has finally blessed me with a friend down here. Hang on, friend. I will get you out of there." Hold up a rusted scimitar. Guess what? Damn bones. Action. Okay, so I'm going to say this is a really narrow space. We're going to go ahead and put these guys within range 1 of each other. They're engaged with one another automatically, and there is no disengagement. There is nowhere to go in this particular little pit. So, let's go ahead. We have a Peristeer. He is on 12. He's going to be going first. Let's see how many AP he's got for the first round. Okay, the roll is a 9. Peristeer, his bonus for reflex is 1. That's 10. That's just enough for him to get 2 action points this round. Oh, okay, so he cracked his hammer, but he can still use it. It's just not to be damaged. I was going to say a pair of attacks. That makes the most sense for me, considering the circumstances of this fight. Peristeer, of course, going on D8, and you know, his guy's melee attack bonus of +4. This actually probably is going to be a really short fight. But, you know, I wasn't really hoping to have a fight here anyway, but that's another matter entirely. Okay, so we have our D8 roll. Go ahead and roll it here. He rolled a 6. 6 plus 4, that's going to be 10. 10, the damn bones has got 12 hit points. So the damn bones is down to 2 hit points. And I still haven't determined if he's bloodied or what exactly the correct term is for a skeletal-like creature. He's marrowed. Let's go with that. Ha, okay, funny. Okay. Second attack of the round, we're going to go ahead and do 2d8. We're going to have to roll 2d8 because the second attack is at disadvantage. Let's go with the lower of the 2 dice. Oops, purple die popped out there. So 2. 2 plus 4, 6. That's going to kill them. That's going to kill the damn bones. It's going to be a real easy end of the fight, and we are victorious. One bad guy at the damn bones is a level 2 creature, so 2 experience points for the party on this one. Parasphere did not take a damage, and he did not fire any ammunition, so this is going to be a fight that does not cost my characters any supply. So, you know, while this is going on, Alona's up at the top side. She's kind of hearing the sound of combat. She hears the skeletal, the voice of the skeleton, and she's like, oh dear. But she's also very cautious at this point because she did just see Parasphere fall into a pit, and it's kind of difficult for her to tell where the edges are. In fact, I'm wondering, do I want to go ahead and have her make a check to make sure she doesn't fall in too? It would be really bad if she does. I think I have to. So let's see, what kind of check do I need to make this? Let's call it. I think it's going to have to be communication plus willpower. I mean, she's trying to get the information from the environment of where exactly the edge of the pit is, and it's going to be a matter of how smart she is. No communications. We've done several of these types of checks already. She's going to get +3 to the roll. So let's go and figure out what she needs to roll in order to succeed. Rolling 46. Oh, geez. Okay. 6 and 5 and 2 and 2. 15. She needs to roll a 15 in order to succeed in a check to avoid falling in herself. 3 plus 3 is her modifier to the roll. She needs to roll 12 or better. I'm going to go ahead and give her conditional advantage on this because she did know about the trap. She just didn't tell Parasphere fast enough. Okay, that's a 15. Alona rolled a 15, so she succeeds the check for the group. 1 extra experience point there. Excellent. Okay, so she is able to tell where the edges of the pit is. I mean, maybe she kind of like is sticking her toe out and kind of feeling around, finally feels the air and can gauge from there where the edges of the pit are. So she's going to take, you know, she's going to call down to Parasphere, you know, because she heard the combat noises, like, "Hey, are you okay down there?" And he's like, "I'm fine, lass. Just got my bell rung a little bit. One of those nasty skeletons were down here again. Does he have any money? Do they ever have any money, lass? Be realistic. Give me a rope and let me see if we can get out of here, shall we?" So she does. She gets out a rope from their supplies and just kind of, they're looking around the room here. There are pillars. They're on both sides of what they now know to be the illusion of the armor. So Alona is going to take a rope out of her pack. She's going to go ahead and tie it around one of the pillars and kind of toss the other end down to where Parasphere can pick it up. We'll say he's gonna be okay to climb that out. I'm not gonna have him make a check on that one. I mean, the worst that could happen is he could fall. Well, I mean, I could have him do a check. Why not? Okay, check. Why not? 46 to determine that difficulty. Oh, 6651. That is 18 above average roll. Let's see. This climbing a rope, so that's going to be probably physical plus fortitude. Fortitude, he gets a +2 bonus. Physical, he has a +1 bonus. Actually, he has a +2 bonus in that too, and a level 1. So that's going to be a +5 to that check. And we have an 18, so he needs to roll 13 or better in order to succeed on this check. Here we go. 12. That is a fail. And so, I mean, I could do a failure roll here, but I think the obvious thing is that he gets. Well, no, let's go ahead and do the fail check. Just for the sake of going through the motions, we'll do a fail check. But you could still have him succeed, even though the indication is a fail. I think that's probably the smartest thing to do here. They've got a 17 and a 1. Well, I know what the 1 is. It's cause harm. 17, though, it's a knowledge complication. So to succeed, but the character gains bad information, missing out on key information. Let's just say that he misses. He's going to not quite get his foot on the ledge. So I think what I can do is have him do a reflex save real quick and see if he's just gonna fall back into the pit. Okay. 46. 5, 5, 1, 1. Okay, so that's a 12. He got a 12. So let's see. We're gonna have him do a reflex save. His reflex save bonus is +1. So he needs to roll an 11, or back in the pit he goes. 5. Yeah, back in the pit he goes. Okay. Crunch. Oh, and that's 7. 7 damage. He's going to take 4 points of damage then from falling back in the pit. And this is ridiculous enough. We'll say he's got 4 points of damage and move on happily with the adventure at this point. So Peristeer has climbed the rope. He is getting up there toward the top of the rope. He sees Alona. He's like, "Thank you, Loss." And he goes to put his foot out to step on the solid ground. Accidentally lets go of the rope, but he does that, and he's now got his foot on solid ground, and he goes, "Oh!" And "Oh! God, a heart!" So the next time around, he's a little bit more careful about hanging on to the rope until he is absolutely certain that he has got his foot underneath him. Okay, we really can see that there's nothing really much else of interest in this area. So my people, they do their usual thing. They've searched the rooms. They've looked for treasure. They found it. They went ahead and searched those 2 little side rooms too. They found nothing there but ancient wine barrels and some chests. There's nothing in them. Nothing of value anyway. Anything that had been in them has rotted away. They found some old bedrolls in the other room, like somebody had camped there but hadn't bothered to come back and pick their stuff up, like they were going to come back there and camp again for the night. And it's not until they get to the back of the room, back behind where the false armor and the false floor are, that they come across a chest. And Alona, being the thief between the two of them, carefully off to the side, she kind of lifts the lid to that chest up. And as she does so, the image of the armor goes out. There is a rumbling as a set of stairs rises up from the ground and descends down into the ground into a spiral. Okay, so I'm getting ready to begin the second level of the dungeon. I have 3 ace cards that are left. I think what I'm going to go ahead and do is do a D3 roll. 1 or 2, we're going to have the ace of clubs. 3 or 4 is going to be the ace of diamonds. 5 or 6 is going to be the ace of spades, because those are the 3 that we have left. The ace of hearts was our initial card. Let's go ahead and see what we got. We rolled a 2. Our next card is going to be the ace of clubs. You know, while I'm making die rolls here, let's go ahead and I want to go ahead and set the king card for the end of this level as well. I still have the king of diamonds, king of hearts, king of spades. I'll do the same thing. D3 roll. King of diamonds on the 1 or 2, king of hearts on the 3 and the 4, king of spades on the 5 and the 6. Let's see what we get. We got a 5. So our final card is going to be the king of spades. Okay, and I will just set that in stone right now, and we'll see if we get to that. So they descend this spiral staircase and get to the end of it. There's a large antechamber, and nothing obvious within it, but they still go ahead and take the time to do their spiel. They're going to look for things, look for treasure, look for traps. They don't find anything, obviously. It's simply a presentation of 3 doors. one to their left, one to the right, one straight ahead. Which one way are they going to go? Let's let the dice decide on this one. Again, a D3 roll. 1 to 2 to the left, 3 to 4 go right, 5 to 6 go straight ahead. I mean, they're going to get to the next room in the deck no matter what they do, but it affects the layout. 5. Okay, they're going to go in the room straight ahead. Our new card is the 2 of diamonds, and this is another one of those where it doesn't matter which roll I would roll on the D6, with them only being level 1 characters. Even though there's a monster indicated on this card, I don't have to worry about it because they're just not high enough of a level. We had this happen last time as well. So they'll use the usual thing. They're going to search the area. They're going to be careful about it. They're kind of cautiously walking down the hallway as they go here, and they get about halfway down. They start hearing this kind of a chittering. I think this is probably the best way to hear it. Just kind of some high pitched. They're faint, but kind of high pitched noises as they continue to walk down this hallway. They think it gets a little bit noisy as Peristeer gets to this junction, but he doesn't really see anything. Nothing there. The hallway turns to the left, and then it turns to the right, and then we're 20 minutes and more down the way. Yeah, 3 cards in. This is going to be a time when we have to light another torch. So our new card is the 5 of spades. And it's about this point, once again, Peristeer knows his torch is starting to flicker and starting to go out. They're just taking too long to do things. He gets another torch out of his backpack, and takes the other one and kind of lights one with the other. And then with the new torch lit, he looks over to Lona and goes, "Lass, we better find what we're looking for pretty fast because we're running out of torches." And Lona can't do anything besides warily agree that they might have to abandon this quest and come back later. We have another baddie in the coming room, and so we're going to make sure to see if they get surprised by him or not. So, once again, the procedure. Determine the hit difficulty. 6533, 17. Grr. Getting the above average rolls this evening. Okay, 17. Peristeer needs a 16 to succeed, and Alona needs a 14 to succeed. Let's see what happens. Alona once again in the purple. 4 and 4. Oh, fail. Fail. And alright, let's see what happens as far as the fail. Okay, that is a 16 and a 6. Okay, so 16, according to the rules, is a clock complication. We can have them succeed, but it's taken longer than expected, and it's going to cause a new problem in the process. 6 is simply foreshadow trouble. Let's see. Can I incorporate this? Well, you tell you what. I'm going to have a think about this one, and we'll go ahead and end things here for right now. Next time, we are finishing up this delve. Hey, if you've enjoyed the show, I would sure appreciate a like and a subscribe. I have a personal goal of 100,000 subscribers for this channel. My kids seem to think that I need a silver play button. I'm probably not going to get there doing this thing, but I might as well try, right? If you like the show, if you like solo role-playing in general, there are a couple other channels here on YouTube that are worth your time, worth checking out, such as Melona's Cave here on YouTube. That's Moses run that one. It's an excellent program. You might check out the D&D solo channel. There's several campaigns going on with that one. And of course, I would be remiss if I didn't recommend Me, Myself, and Die by Trevor Duvall. We're still looking forward to the Broken Empires here in a few months. Let's see what that's all about. And if you want to support financially, hey, I don't take donations, but I will take subscriptions. Well, anyway, that's it for right now. Hope you enjoyed the show, and I'll see you next time on Cheapskate Gamer.